Welcome back to the Lynn Miller Room as we continue this week's Eagles Sports Coaches Show. Brent Ericksen, the track and field coach, has joined us. We'll say cross-country coach, track and field. You just do it all.
Busy.
First of all, congratulations, Coach of the Year in the state of Kentucky. We haven't seen you since then. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's been a while. A great honor to get that. I think it's nice to have your program recognized a little bit. They've seen our improvement from one year to the next, and I think that was really a nice team recognition for our guys.
You know, when you come in here, like we've mentioned before, got a late start. On your first year, now you're getting things back to normal for yourself and your program, and to be recognized like that, I know that it's an individual honor, but like you just said, it's for everybody.
It is. It's a team honor. It's those guys have been working hard, and it's nice that people saw that a little bit.
Let's get to the track and field season underway now. What have we done thus far?
Well, we've had one meet, and so it's finally here. Basically, you can only practice so much without going a little bit stir crazy, and so we got one under our belt there at University of Cincinnati, and it was we had some really good performances for the most part.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, probably the highlight for us was the 800. We won both races there. On the women's side, Natalie won that, Natalie Norman, and to open up her season at 2:13:02 is pretty spectacular, and really led from beginning to end. And then Desmond Bell did the same thing on his side, led from beginning to end. Actually ran a negative split on that, so that shows he's in a little bit of shape there as well. And we had we put 3 guys in the top 6 in the 5K, and had a freshman run sub 15 minutes and in his first 5K ever, and Zach Elliott ran a really nice race for us too, and just Chase Ratliff PR'd by 40 seconds in that race, and I think he was 5th overall in that, and ran 15:03, so almost broke 15 minutes. So we're talking about, we almost had 4 guys under 15 minutes in the first race of the year, and so they've been working hard. And we're out there every day, whether it's cold and rain and everything else. We don't have games canceled. We don't have any of that. So it is nice to just get out there and do something.
We don't want to mention any names, but how much better are the times to begin this season than last season?
Yeah, it's night and day. I mean, it's just night and day. We're better as a team. As we always talk about, we've had one recruiting class, and eventually if you get 4 of those, then you're going to be just so much better. And so, yeah, it's just part of the process. The freshmen that were from last year now are sophomores. Well, we just talked about a couple of them that won races, and so yeah, it's just feels like more like your team.
What's the spring schedule like for you coming in after getting that first one under your belt?
Well, we got this week off. We're on, we've got people still here, but we've also got it is spring break, and so we've got some people elsewhere as well, hopefully doing what they're supposed to be doing. But after that, we're at North Carolina State for the Raleigh Relays, and that's a big meet for us. That's where we're going to open up with our 10K people, and it's a huge meet. There'll be over 50 universities there, and after that, we're at I believe we're at Miami of Ohio. Then we go to University of Tennessee for the Sea Ray Relays, and then we're at University of Kentucky. They're hosting a new meet for them. They've got that brand new track and field facility that they're going to open up, and so we're going to check that out a little bit, and then we really are hoping a few kids get a chance to do Drake relays. We're really a group that may be having a chance to qualify for regionals and stuff, and then the rest of them will go to Bellarmine to kind of tune up before conference. And OVCs are at Eastern Illinois this year, and after that we've got one more chance to solidify things and that's at University of Louisville. So That's all of them. So I know it by heart. It's we've got it planned out.
You know, the Drake relays, for people who follow track and field, are like the ultimate of the relays. I know there are a lot of history in the Drake relays. The fact that Jesse Owens was part of the Drake relays at a time when we go there to play football, when they had the old place before they redid the football field. There were a lot of history there. But even now, when they redid their football, actually they redid their track and also did their football. So there's a lot of history there.
Yeah, it really is a special meet, and for track and field, their facilities are incredible. And with that redoing that they did, their field event facilities actually really were improved quite a bit. So that was nice for them.
Now, you mentioned University of Kentucky. You mentioned University of Tennessee. You know, you worked on the schedule very hard. It seemed like the fact that you've added a lot more, maybe stiffer competition, so your kids can get better.
Yeah, and I think part of that is being ready for it. I think we're a little bit more ready for things like that, and two, I think they need to be pushed. We need to have meets like that and see what this level's like, and so that they know what this level's like, and so that incoming recruits know this is how we do things, this is who we compete against, and so that they have those kind of aspirations and know that each week, you know, they're going to get tested pretty hard.
Yeah, I think as a recruit, when you look on the schedule and you see, you know, you're going here, here, and here, that has to entice you, because, you know, the people who are runners, people who are in the track and field events, you know, they're individuals, but they're members of a team, and they're usually the people who need to be pushed or like to be pushed to get better.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talked about Natalie and Des leading from beginning to end. Runners don't like to do that. Yeah. They like to have people out in front, and then, you know, they want to basically win at the very end. And so those kids are looking for a little bit stiffer competition too, I think. And that's really what, you know, in the perfect world, yeah, we'd have somebody out there leading, and we could have tucked in a little bit. It was windy out there. It was, you know, not the perfect day, of course, as you can see by the cancellations of so many of our other sports that are outdoors. But you know, it's just what we do. If you're expected to win, you have to win, whether the conditions are good, bad, or you know, indifferent. So,
tell us a little bit about. I know that you're very big on having each runner have their own program, or, you know, kind of making sure that each runner gains their potential out of their talents, and that always fascinates me, because the fact that you have so many kids and so many kids that work hard, but, you know, you try to break it down for them so they can become better individually.
Well, that's where the majority of my time is spent, for sure, is trying to figure out what it takes to get each of those kids better. If those kids get better, our team gets better, and we've always talked about that. Is how do you get your team better? Well, each of those kids have to get better, and how do you do that? Well, you have to tweak some things. Not every kid's the same, and not every kid needs to run at the same pace as somebody else, and all those kind of things. And so we're actually doing some fun stuff right now with. About every fourth week, we're doing what's called the Super Compensation Week. And so they have to basically split up their Sunday run, and then they have a really easy Monday. And then on Tuesday, we're doing 2 hard workouts, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, which was today. And then they've got a couple recovery days again, and then we have another solid workout again on Friday. And so they're really getting tested that way as well. And so I'm really excited about some of the stuff we're trying with them, and where this thing's going.
I know after the cross country season and until the beginning of the January of the spring semester, the fact that when we came for basketball games, sometimes your bunch would be in the weight room or be working out, and, you know, they're a fun bunch, but they were actually, you know, getting their work done, and you see them even when you had the hurdles in the hallway back here, they were still pushing themselves. Even, you know, we're inside, it's colder than whatever outside, but they were still getting their work in, pushing each other, you know, to try to make themselves better for the regular season?
Well, I think, yeah, you're probably seeing them do some hurdle walkovers and some hip flexor strength and stuff there. But you know, a lot of times people see us, they think, well, we're just laying around or something. Well, after we're done with all the strength training program and everything else, we're rolling, we're stretching, we're massage sticking, and then we elevate, which means we're putting our feet up a little bit and letting the lactic acid kind of you know, move from our legs, and so it's a recovery process. And so a lot of times people do walk by and see us and think we're just lounging around or something, but really it's all part of what they have to do.
How important is it when they get here to teach them, I guess, the strength training part of track? Because usually in high school, especially in our area, if you're a good runner, you're a runner, but you're trying to make them a complete runner.
Well, we really stress core. I think that's, you know, and the reason I like to be in charge of my strength training program is because I know what they're doing. I know how they feel. I know the volume that they're doing. You know, just I can make the adjustments on a day-to-day basis that way. And, you know, we stress strength endurance as well. And, you know, we're not looking to turn these runners into bodybuilders. We're looking to have the strength endurance, the endurance to be able to apply forces for 5 miles or 10K, 6.2, or whatever their individual event is in track and field. And so, so some of those, you know, so it's just different. It's just different than a normal strength training program would be for a football player or somebody else. And so me having that ability to do that, and I've done that for, you know, 20-some years now, and been in charge of that. And so it's something I love to do. It's something that I feel like gives me latitude. Okay, this, you know, where do we need to address our weaknesses? And I can see them run. I can see them race. I can see what's happening with them, and I can say, okay, not only do we need to correct that from a training standpoint, but from a strength standpoint, here's some exercise I think we need to address as well.
So you're off this week, 2 weeks, where you at?
In 2 weeks, we're at North Carolina State, and so that's a big one, so we're looking forward to it.
Of course, you can catch all the results at msueagles.com and follow the schedule and follow the track and field Eagles. Brent, always a pleasure. You always enlighten me, because I know I probably ask different type of questions, but the program for each runner and how they get better just intrigues me, because as a coach, it just has to drive you wild sometimes.
Oh, it's always fun. You should come out there on a Tuesday and watch us out there a little bit.
I can watch you. I couldn't run anymore, but good luck at North Carolina, and good luck in the rest of the OVC.
Thank you very much.
We'll come back with more. This is the Eagles Sports Coaches Show.